I have a very dear friend, Mr. Kamal Sharma with
Hello,
me.
Namaskar, and Jai Hind.
We have, Kamal and me have been friends now for over 3 decades. And while I was moving from one breed to the other, in the pursuing my all breeds judging license, Kamal was dedicated to the pugs, and so in many ways I consider him to be an absolute master as far as the pug breed is concerned. Low profile but extremely knowledgeable. So it's a privilege to host Kamal on behalf of DogSpot and discuss this lovely Oriental breed. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 94th live session being hosted by DogSpot. We are today going to discuss the pug dog, and we'll follow the same routine which we normally follow for our breed specialty discussions. We'll talk about the origin of the breed, the appearance, temperament, training issues, grooming issues, and during all this discussion, Kamal and me will share a lot of our experiences traveling together and showing pugs and borrow from pugs Kamal's vast knowledge of the breed. So thank you for coming, Kamal, and joining us today. And can I have your dog with us, Kamal?
Yes, sure.
Because I requested Kamal to bring along a little puppy pug along so that everybody. Hello.
Shharat, this is a 7-month-old puppy
Okay.
named Hero,
Yeah.
and as you can see, they like to love everybody. Even if you're out for 10 minutes, they'll greet you like that he's meeting you after ages.
I know.
That's the temperament of a pug.
Yeah. And it's a pleasure to have a dog that is always so happy to be around us and share with us. So yeah, let's start doing this formally. Let's talk about the origin, Kamal. I have always believed that the pug is an Oriental breed of Chinese origin. But tell us something about it. What is your belief? How old is the breed?
Well, Shharat, I believe, and it's there in the books to say,
Yeah.
that it's before 400 BC. It started from
400 BC.
So basically 2,500 years old.
Wow. That's one of the oldest breeds.
One of the oldest breeds.
Yeah. And I believe that it's retained most of its form and structure over the years.
Over the years, true to time.
Yeah, wonderful. That's ladies and gentlemen, make note of that 500-year-old breed of Oriental origin, and its history is a little shrouded in mystery, but we do know that sometimes in the 18th century it moved to France, and Josephine, Napoleon's queen, is credited with a lot of development of the breed in France. As a matter of fact, there's a lovely story about Josephine. She had a pug dog called Fortune, and she used the pug dog to find out secrets about Napoleon. And there is a story that goes that the Fortune was so protective of Josephine that he once bit the emperor when he came to spend the night with Josephine. So pugs protective of their masters. Not temperamentally true, but then stories are always nice to know. And so it's apart from the French, it's got a lot of credit for developing the breed has to go to the English, because sometimes in the middle of the 18th century and in the 19th century, a lot of, once the English invaded China and captured the palace, a lot of the pugs are supposed to have been taken out of the palace and taken back to England. And there is record that hundreds of black pugs were taken from China and then gradually developed as a breed in England to its present form. So the official standard as we see it today is sometimes in 1886, 85 if I think correctly, that the British formalized the standard for the pug, and same year, I think, or perhaps a little later, that the UK had another standard. The US had another standard for the pug. So it's about 150 odd years since we've had an official standard of the pug, and from then it's gradually grown, I think, all over the world. It's one of the most popular breeds in the UK, in Europe, and I've had the pleasure of seeing fantastic ones in Australia and the US as well. So tell us, Kamal, of what your experience has been of pugs in India. How do you trace it? What's the history in India in the last 30 to 40 years?
So, Shharat, sorry.
Naughty pug.
Over the last 30 years, when we started off, there were hardly any pugs in the showings. And slowly we started off. Initially, we used to have English type of pugs or Australians,
Yeah.
which were a bit big on the size.
Yeah.
Then slowly people started breeding and the numbers increased.
Yeah.
And by 2010 or so, I believe there were a lot of pugs.
Okay.
The popularity of the pugs increased a lot.
Okay.
And there was a Hutch ad which came.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Everybody
was,
remembers the ad.
instrumental in increasing the popularity of pugs.
Yeah.
I believe maybe it was wrong for the breeds as such, because everybody started breeding pugs.
Yeah, it became a commercial breed.
It became a commercial breed, and
Yeah.
a lot of things were ignored,
Yeah.
and we lost the main characteristics of the ill-tempered or not up to the breed the pugs were.
We'll come to
bred.
that. We'll come to that, Kamal. But if I ask you a pointed question, if you have to identify a few individuals who helped bring the pug in its modern shape to India, I will identify you. But who else would you like to identify?
Well, I would say I started off from Mr. S.P. Malik of Agra.
Okay, Mr. S.P. Malik from Agra, right?
I got a. In fact, I and you went to his place.
I
and we
remember
got
that.
a
We
very
sat,
famous dog.
we sat in his living room and picked up the puppy. I remember that day.
That was, we used to call him Badmash, and
Yeah.
it was very popular.
Yeah, I remember.
And he produced some good dogs.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, there was this little pug that Kamal and me, I think it's maybe 30 years ago, that we went and picked up from Mr. Malik in Agra. And he was the first dog that we showed at a show when he was only 5 months old. And I still remember it was a show at the model school Barakamba grounds, the Delhi Kennel Club show. And one of our senior judges, very respected, Mr. Philip John, was judging, and he got a best puppy and a CC at the age of 5 months. So, yeah, we've had good times together with pugs. Okay, so, Mr. S.P. Malik, and anybody in the south?
Then I'll talk about North first.
Okay.
Because that time one Mr. Sharma was there. I'm forgetting his first
Mahinder.
name. Mahinder Sharma.
He was in my department, in
Yeah.
Meerut.
Mahinder Sharma. Then one Mr. Jain was there.
Again in Meerut. Yeah.
So basically we started the pugs from here, and I showed Badmash extensively, and he was most probably the first pug to be placed on board.
Yeah, I remember. So tell me, Kamal, if we have to talk about, it's a popular breed amongst pet parents.
I'm sorry, I'll correct you here. About pugs in India,
Yeah.
I remember one gentleman from Calcutta.
Yes.
You are good at names, but I don't remember his name. He had a beautiful import Zorcha Micron rod. That was his
Beautiful
instrumental.
dog. Beautiful dog.
Prabir or Prabir Basu.
I forget the name myself, but yeah, I remember the dog.
Yeah.
A beautiful dog. Yeah. Now tell me, Kamal, for the pet parent, because it's such a popular breed, because of its nature and its temperament, how would you describe what is the appearance of a pug for a pet parent? Because pet parents go and look for a pet. They are looking for particular appearance, particular traits, characteristics.
Mhm.
So we must help them today since you are here. If a pet parent has to go and look for a pug, describe me his appearance. What should they look for?
The pug should be, as we say, it's a dog in multum in parvo. Means lot of dog in small space.
Multum in parvo. Okay, so the Latin for lot of dog in small space.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Okay,
And it should have a large head,
okay,
the compactness of the body,
okay.
and the tightness of the muscles. It should be rock hard.
Okay, so I am
Okay.
asking you now a viewer's question.
Okay.
Why did you get attracted to a pug? What was in the appearance that made you fall in love with the pug over all other breeds? Why should a pet parent? What attracts pugs to pet parents?
When you
Hello,
look at-
Anjali. Hello.
Hi, Anjali. When
Hello,
you look at
Methali.
a
Hello,
pug,
Sandeep.
when you look at the face of the pug,
Yeah.
it's got wrinkles and very expressive, large globular eyes.
Okay. Let's have a look.
And these are
Ladies
the
and
eyes
gentlemen.
to die for.
Yeah.
They are very expressive.
Okay. So you feel that when people are looking for a pug, they must have large globular eyes.
Yes.
Okay. What else should they see in the appearance?
You want me to describe the appearance of a pug?
Yeah, because pet parents, they often get misguided or they don't know what to look for when they're looking for a good pug. So give us some guidelines, 5 or 7 points.
See. Yeah, first thing is the compactness of the body.
Okay, so you want a
A compact
square,
body.
compact dog.
It's a very square and compact and cobby dog.
Cobby, okay, right?
With level top line.
Okay,
And the head should be rounded in appearance, not apple head,
okay,
without any indentation.
okay,
And when you look from the front profile, it should give a rounded appearance.
okay, right.
And well set apart
And
ears.
how do you like the ears to be? Like they should fall flat on the cheeks or how should they be?
See, there are two types of ears,
Okay,
button ears and rose ears.
okay, and these are, which ones are these on the screen just now?
These are button ears.
Button ear, okay,
They are close to the head
okay,
and falling over.
right,
And the rose ears are like, you can say, fly ears.
okay,
Falling over, showing the burr
right,
in the ear. Then the leg should be straight,
right,
of moderate length.
okay,
Hind should be very strong, with well bent stifles,
right,
moderately bent stifles,
right,
and the hind should be very hard, and the hock should be perpendicular to the ground.
right. Hello
Small
Alka
house.
and hello Gaurav from Australia and hello Gauri from Pune.
Hi Gaurav.
I would like to use something which pet parents will identify with. This is a story about the appearance of the pug. Kamal has spoken about the head. There are many stories which say that the word pug comes from, the Latin word fist, because you look at the fist of the human fist, and the pug is supposed to be resembling that. So there are some stories which say that the pug word comes from the Latin word fist, and in their appearance they should be, like Kamal said, a lot of dog in small space. So you want a comical expression, a happy dog, a dog that is talking with its eyes, a dog that is, always around you, prancing around, happy, never a dull moment. So if you go to look for a pug puppy, please see that you get a dog which has absolutely clean globular eyes. The first thing that you see in a pug puppy, if you go to see, is that the eyes should be clean. The area around the eyes should have no marking, no tear marks, no scratches to be, causing the eye to shut. and they should be large, expressive eyes. And the second thing which we will come to show you when we bring this little boy up near the screen is
Back muzzle.
this. These are what we call wrinkles, and this little thing over the nose is called the nasal fold. Now, it's important in the appearance that these are at the right place, of the right size, of the right depth. Tell us something about the diamond, Kamal.
You can say diamond or a thumb mark.
Okay, yeah, tell us something about it.
This is a diamond or a thumb mark here.
Okay,
When the dog is attentive, it shows. See.
ladies and gentlemen, the diamond or the thumb mark here. So it's like an indentation where the skin folds meet and it give a particular shape, and it's very typical. You see that distinctly, hey little baby, see that distinctly it is showing. Okay,
And,
tell us something about it.
moles on the two cheeks.
Okay,
There are two moles here.
okay,
Likewise here.
right,
It should have thin hair
right,
and they should be very smooth and velvety. And the coat should be very smooth.
okay,
And there are different colors in pugs. They come in apricot, silver, then fawn and blacks. We do have blacks also in pugs.
okay. And which is your favorite color, Kamal?
My favorite color is fawn.
Fawn. And how can you distinguish between a fawn and an apricot? I mean, that for the layman, how would he know that he's buying a fawn puppy or an apricot puppy? Is it distinct as a puppy, or does the color change when they grow?
Well, in the puppyhood only you can make out the apricot because they are darker shade.
Darker shade, okay,
Apricot is a darker shade
okay,
and fawns are lighter shades.
okay.
And he's
Don't chew the mic. Okay,
Then we have silver. They have a lot of blacks in between.
okay.
Black
So
hair.
there is a black hair shade.
Black hair.
Okay,
And the blacks are completely black.
okay.
And they might have a white mark on the chest.
So you allow white marking on the chest in black pups?
A small mark may be allowed,
Okay,
but not a large enough.
okay. And in one litter, tell me, Kamal, from the point of view of appearance, can you get all the colors? Or are blacks only in black litters and they can't intermingle with other colors?
No, if you have one of the parents black,
Yeah.
then you'll have a black puppy. Otherwise, not.
Okay.
If you meet a fawn to fawn, apricot to apricot, you can't have a black.
Okay, Anjali, we'll come back to your question about adjustment of pugs in northern Indian heat. Just give us 5 minutes before we get to that stage. Thank you. Okay, yeah. So you mean that genetically you need one black parent to get a black puppy.
That's true.
So please, ladies and gentlemen who are going to buy puppies and who are going to make pugs part of their life, if you go to look at a litter and both the parents are fawns or apricots or silver, and someone is trying to pass off a black puppy to say that this is from that litter, please be wary. Because as the breed expert says, if you're getting a black puppy, it must have a black parent. So if a breeder or some puppy farm is trying to palm off a black puppy to you from fawn or apricot parents, please be wary, double check. That's very, very useful information. Thank you so much. Because people might get, taken for a ride because of not being aware. Okay, right. So when you touch a pug, what is the texture of the coat? How would people know that this is a good texture coat when they go to buy a puppy?
It should not be rough to the touch. It should be smooth,
Okay,
glossy.
okay. And how, should it be very dense coat, very short like a boxer, very short like a Great Dane?
No, it's double coat.
Okay,
The pug is always in double.
okay.
But
So when
it
you
should
feel-
not be woolly.
It should not be woolly.
It should not be woolly.
Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, please note another point. All the pug lovers and all the people who are getting into pugs, when you feel a puppy, it should be dense, rich, glossy, smooth, but not woolly. And it should not be tight or so short-coated like a boxer or a Great Dane or a Doberman. Thank you. That's very
They do have undercoat. That's why
right.
they're more coated.
They are more coated. And I know once you have said they are more coated, so we come back to the question because that will be a favorite question which will come back about, shedding, which we'll come to. Okay, we'll come to the questions in a little while. Just give us 5 minutes because we know we are talking of questions of allergies, skin disease, adjusting to heat, allergic to heat. Give us 5 more minutes. We are just going to touch the temperament and come back to all the questions. Okay, come on. It says you need a clown at heart. It is often said about pugs that they are clowns at heart. And so, what is your experience? You have 30 years of experience with the breed. Are they fun around in the house?
Well, pugs, they are very happy-go-lucky dogs.
Okay.
They are very outgoing. They don't know their size. They are very courageous.
Okay.
They'll go after a dog,
Right.
not to bite him or to fight with him, just to meet him. They are outgoing. So you have to be very careful with your pugs when you take him out to walk.
Okay. Because
Because-
he'll try and go and be friendly with other dogs.
True.
Okay. So that's one temperament.
They are very good with kids.
Very good with children. Okay.
And the basic temperament of the pug is like if you're sitting here, he'll be by your side. You
Okay.
go to the washroom, he'll follow you, wait outside, then he'll follow you around the house.
So they are shadows.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think that if I, as a new pet owner today, I decide that okay, the children or the family wants to add another family member, and we are going in for pug, and I have an apartment, would you suggest the breed to me?
They can adjust to any place, whether it's a apartment or a big house or a farmhouse.
Okay.
They like the company of human beings.
Okay.
And,
And
they-
how much excess? How much time do they need? Because life is becoming busy. People are busy in their daily routines. So how much of time does he need?
It's a companion dog, Shharat.
Okay.
I suggest people who have to go to office and have to lock their house and there's nobody around in the house. The pug is not a breed for them. There has to be somebody in the house always.
Okay. Right. So you don't suggest that get a pug and then leave it alone for the whole day. So you feel that it will have an adverse or bad effect on the pug.
True.
Okay. Good. That's a nice point. Thank you. Okay. We'll have to. Hello, Ajit. Ajit Kataria says hello. Alka. Okay, Alka Sharma is there, so I must bring this aspect of the story. My friend Kamal is obviously, as I call him, his first name is Kamal, and his wife Alka, who's always also been a friend now for 3 decades. So Kamal and Alka, in Hindi it is called, Chandi. So they both got together, Kamal and Alka, and the Kamal Ka Kennel was born.
It's Kamal Khan.
No. We call it Kamal Ka because it brought beautiful pugs into the world and beautiful companions and beautiful show dogs. So for those who know Kamal and Kamal Ka Kennel is actually for us Kamal Ka Kennel because it has some wonderful. So thank you Alka for joining. And so we move on. Tell me something about temperament. You said that it would not be recommended if it's left alone.
Okay.
But there's another aspect of temperament. And that aspect of temperament is the dog too demanding? Does it, constantly want attention? Or a family is watching a TV show, a family is watching a movie and it will comfortably sit and enjoy with them. Or it will keep jumping around, keep hopping on your lap. What is the temperament?
Shharat, it all depends from the age to age.
Okay?
Age-wise, the temperament changes. When the dog is a puppy,
Right.
he'll be demanding, he'll be all over you.
Right.
He would like attention, he'll be very peppy, running around the house, running after you, coming to you and all.
Okay.
Once he matures,
Right.
then he will be quieter. Right.
So that's true for most puppies. That's true for most breeds that they are different when they are puppies and as they grow and settle, they become part of your routine and they become part of your lifestyle. So nothing to worry for pet parents if they are getting in pugs?
There's one more point.
Okay.
I would suggest we call it the dogs and the bitches.
Hmm.
And I find the bitches to be more attached to the family.
Oh, okay.
Dogs are more like
Aloof.
they can have their own temperament. They can sit in a corner and just doze off.
Right.
But bitches, they are very attached to the family.
Okay. And which is your favorite bitch and what is the story with her? Of all the bitches that you have?
See, my first bitch was a bitch from Russia where my younger brother was stationed.
Hello. Okay.
When I went for the shows,
Hmm.
and before that also I had read about pugs and all.
Right.
I found only one or two pugs. I said, this is a breed I love.
Okay.
Let me bring it down. So
Yeah.
SK got me a bitch.
Yeah.
That was named Diana.
Okay.
I renamed her Diane,
Okay.
not to offend Princess Diana.
Yeah.
So this was a bitch. I took her to the show,
Yeah.
the first outing, and the ongoing pug, the male pug,
Okay.
it went over it and scored a BOV,
Best of breed.
best of breed.
Okay.
And in 2 shows, I completed her title.
Wonderful.
And this female of mine used to have extra strong sixth sense.
Oh, okay.
Anka used to know me whatever time I come home. Before 15 minutes, she used to know that I'm coming home because Diane used to be sitting at the gate.
Wow. That's true companion dog. That's the trait of a true companion dog.
Plus,
So-
they have extra sixth sense.
Okay, so another point for temperament, pugs have the extra sixth sense and they can sense the presence of their masters, which also means, ladies and gentlemen, that they can sense your sorrows and your joys and your anxiety. So it's a companion dog in the truest sense. Okay, let's move on, Kamal, because we have got lots of questions coming in, so we'll take a few questions. Okay. Now let's start with the adjustment of the pug to what is the climatic condition required ideally for a pug.
For a pug, too much of heat, they can't tolerate heat.
Okay.
They require a pleasant weather.
Okay.
So in northern India, we have to give them AC. They can't do without AC.
Is that ladies and gentlemen?
Because-
That's because of the brachycephalic structure of their skull. So the short-muzzled dogs, like the English bulldog, the French bulldog, the boxer, the bull mastiff, the pug, these brachycephalic heads, they have snub noses. So because they pant when it gets very hot, it's recommended to keep them cool, and that helps in their breathing. So, as Anjali Vaid asked, how do they adjust in hot climate? So, AC you say.
You have to give them AC or a cool climate, and as far as exercise is concerned, morning and late evenings when the weather is a bit cool, you have to take them out. And
Just a second, we have our friend Ramel Bakit from Philippines. Hello, I hope you are enjoying this. Yes.
so you have to take care of the pug in the heat.
Okay. So Anjali, that's what he feels, that it's not easy for them naturally to adjust to the heat in northern India, although there have been
Winter season they enjoy.
winter season they enjoy, but in northern Indian heat, we need to give them a constant, steady, cool temperature, and we should not risk any exercise or long walks, etc. during the summers. Is that right?
True.
Okay. So we move on to another question, and a lot of people, Kamal, are asking us about allergies. I don't know. Here is a question which says that, how do you save them from skin allergies? And what are the foods that they can be allergic to? Tell us something about that.
See, they are allergic to, in fact, most of the pugs are allergic to mange.
Oh, they suffer mange.
Suffer mange.
Okay.
So you have to make sure that they don't have any ticks,
Okay.
the mites.
Okay.
And as far as the prevention is,
We'll come to that when we come to grooming.
Okay.
We'll come to that when we come to grooming. But since the question of allergies has come up, let's move on towards diet.
See, some pugs are allergic to milk also.
No, many dogs are.
Many.
Okay, tell me, if I am a new pug owner and I come to get a pug from you, what would you recommend as the best diet?
Nowadays we get dog food.
Yes.
The premium range of dog food, and they come by breed specific food.
Okay.
You can have a pug diet,
Yes.
and age is specific also.
Right.
Age wise, a puppy, then junior dog,
Okay.
an adult dog,
Okay.
and nowadays you get veg food also.
Right.
And I recommend dry dog food because they tend to have the tartar and all
Okay.
because of their teeth structure,
Right.
the muzzle structure, the teeth are a bit delicate.
Okay. So
I don't
point to
suggest
you-
a wet diet. I suggest a dry diet for
You
pug.
suggest a dry diet for the pug. So any premium brand kibble, ladies and gentlemen, which is suited for its size, and then you give it according to the age of your dog, from a minor puppy to a puppy and junior and adult. But the breed expert feels that a dry diet is better for a pug compared to a homemade cooked wet diet, whether it's rice and chicken or any other thing. What about treats, Kamal? What kind of treats would you suggest pet owners to give to their pugs?
See, nowadays you get a lot of treats
Yeah.
made of chicken and biscuits,
Okay.
and kibbles, they come.
But don't you think that too many treats will make the dog obese? Is it prone to obesity?
Yeah, you have to control their diet. They don't know when to stop eating.
Oh, so they are gluttons. Like
They-
Labrador,
yeah.
they can keep eating.
Yes.
Okay, so how many times do you recommend we should feed a puppy? Or a pug, an adult pug? Once a day, twice a day, thrice a day?
Adult pugs, some breeders, they feed them only once a day, but I used to feed my dog twice a day
Okay,
because I used to give them longer bit of exercise.
okay.
When you exercise your dogs, then you have to be.
And
Yeah.
what is the quantity for an adult pug of a premium food that you would recommend per day?
For a premium food, I believe 100 to 125 grams a day is good enough for a pug.
Okay, so 100 to 125 grams of premium kibble per day is what Kamal recommends for an adult pug. I want to take this question, Kamal. Mehnaz Khan says they are even allergic to wheat. Have you had any experience of allergy to wheat?
None of my dogs, they were allergic to wheat.
Okay.
And I have seen a lot of people breeding also, and I couldn't find any. Maybe some dogs, maybe.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay. So, no, Mehnaz, we have not experienced any case of specific allergy to wheat. But if you have experience, I presume only an allergy test through a veterinarian would help. But in my experience too, not only in pugs but in any other dog, I have never experienced wheat allergy. But I do know that there is wheat allergy because a lot of dogs are now fed grain-free food. So yes, it is possible, but I don't think it's specific only to the pug. Mehnaz, or your question about nail trimming we'll come to when we are doing the grooming bit. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is a good question. How good are pugs while traveling? Because pet parents will go to picnics, they'll go to outings, they'll travel from one station to the other. What's your experience about pugs as travelers? That's a
find
question
them
by Rajesh Katyal.
I find them very good travelers, and Rajesh is he knows it very well.
Yeah, he's an experienced traveler, but
And
with a
we
dog
used
much bigger than a great
We
than a
used,
pug.
to, we used to move together.
I know. I
With
remember.
this Great Dane and my Pugs.
I know.
But I recommend every pet owner
Yeah.
to train their dog right from puppyhood.
Yeah.
When you go out for a drive, just take your puppy right from the puppy stage.
Okay.
So they are used to traveling.
There's a lovely question here from Saloni from Dogspot. She says, "Do pugs like hugs? Do they like being hugged?" That's what she means.
They
like
like being pampered, hugged, smooching, everything.
Okay.
In fact, some people say they are ladies' dogs.
There you are, Saloni. Ladies' dog, so that's what you should go in for. Get yourself a pug. Okay. Okay, Richard Gomes. I have a 9-year-old female pug and she has been suffering with congenital heart disease, that is heart enlargement, and of late she has got diagnosed with cardiac cough. I'm sorry to hear that, Richard. Yes, congenital heart disease is prevalent, but not in pugs specifically, but in many breeds. And cardiac cough is definitely a symptom of congenital heart disease because the oxygen level starts going down and you cough to sort of get in more oxygen. But I'm sorry to hear that, and I'm afraid that this session doesn't have the the knowledge or the professional skill to advise you on this. That only a veterinary doctor can do. But I'm sorry to hear that about your little pug. Okay. Anjali says, I have never recommended milk for any dog after they are weaned. It gives them tummy upset. We totally agree with you, Anjali.
True, Anjali.
Absolutely true, because it's our experience that, the gut system, the entire digestive system of a dog, predominantly because they are canines, is not suited for milk. And unfortunately, in the early years, I would say, in right up to early 80s, or maybe even the middle 80s, when there was no dog food and dogs were primarily given a slice of bread or milk and a roti or milk or something like that, it was never the best food for them. And even now, if people are sticking on to milk, let us use this forum to tell them it's not the best food for dogs. It's not suited for their digestion, and it's best avoided. In the peak summer months, we don't mind giving a little bit of curd or what we call lassi in Hindi, but never any milk directly. We don't recommend that. So yes, thank you, Anjali. I totally agree with you. Okay, we are moving on to the grooming portion, which is very, very important because we are now into 40 minutes. Yes. Grooming. Kamal, I feel every pet dog must be groomed regularly.
True.
Whether it's a German Shepherd or it's a short coat breed or it's a long coat Shih Tzu or a Golden or a Lab, they need to be groomed, brushed, cleaned, groomed, eyes and ears checked, nails kept clean, etc. What would you recommend as a grooming routine for a pug?
For a pug, grooming is very important, very, very important.
Okay.
Because of their folds. Their eyes should be cleaned daily.
Right.
Clean
And how would you recommend to clean?
You get wet wipes.
Wet wipes, okay.
And their ears has to be cleaned.
Okay.
Then the folds. They
show
these folds,
show us this. Okay.
The nasal fold and all.
Okay.
And the wrinkles, they have to be cleaned.
And how do you do that? With cotton?
No, with wipes, wet wipes.
White wipes. So you
can use cotton also, but you have to be very light on the pressure.
Because otherwise,
yeah, they can get scratched and they might have injuries.
Okay. So you recommend that the fold is open, a clean wipe is used,
yeah,
and then the same is used for the wrinkles.
True.
Okay.
Or you can put some Vaseline, then clean it out with a wet thick cotton.
Okay. And what do you recommend about their grooming of their coat?
Daily brushing is important because pugs, some people say that it's a short-coated breed, they don't shed.
Okay.
But mind you, every new owner should know.
Yes.
Pugs, they shed in tons.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, pugs shed in tons. So,
You
so,
have to groom them daily.
so when you see a dark shirt turn white after it's playing with a pug, pugs shed in tons. That's the take back from today. Okay, and how do you prevent that or how do you handle that?
See, every dog has to be brushed with a pin brush.
Pin brush, right? Okay.
And I recommend daily brushing, then bathing with
Okay.
blow drying.
Okay.
You
Okay.
get blow dryers.
Yes.
After the bath, it has to blow dry.
Okay.
Then all the dead hair will come off.
Okay. Fine.
Maybe 15 days, one bath is enough
Okay.
in summers.
Okay. Anjali says, I see very few healthy wet noses in pugs. Usually I see pug noses very dry. Why?
Mostly, firstly, the nostrils should be wide enough. But this part of mine, it has a wet.
Yeah, I can
nose.
see that it has a
It
wet.
has a wet nose.
Okay.
That's the owner's fault. They have to do the cleaning, and when the pug eats, his mouth has to be wiped
Okay.
after every food.
Okay.
Whether it's a dry feed or after the feed, he'll be having water.
Okay.
So his
basically-
muzzle has to be dry.
So basically, Anjali, I feel Kamal is saying, if I am understanding him correctly, that the dry nose is not more a health issue, but it's not a health issue, but more an issue of being dirty, and people are not keeping that the part of the mouth clean enough, so it's not appearing wet and clean and glossy as it should. I hope that answers your question.
If a pug is healthy, it will have a wet nose.
Okay, all dogs, if they are healthy, must have a wet nose. Mehnaz Khan asks the same question: how to keep nose area clean? Mehnaz will repeat. Kamal says use wet wipes, clean the fold, clean the mouth of the dog every time after it eats, clean the wrinkles, and don't let it fool around in muddy areas. And if it gets dirty on the nostril, please clean it with a wet wipe so that the breathing remains easy and the nose always remains wet. Okay. Mehnaz had also asked, why are pugs wary of getting their nails trimmed?
They are not wary of getting their nail trimmed.
Okay.
You have to start off from the puppyhood.
Right.
Every dog is wary of getting his nail trimmed unless you start from the puppyhood.
Do you recommend a clipper or a grinder?
I would recommend a filer
Filer.
or a grinder.
Okay, fine.
But if you are well versed with the nails, quick and all,
Yeah.
then you can use a clipper.
Okay, but ideally you are fine with either a file or a grinder.
Grinder.
Okay, let's say how to clean face all time of pugs. We've already answered that. Divya, thank you. Dinkar, what kind of exercise? Dinkar, we'll come to the exercise portion in another 5 minutes. Please just give us the grooming bit. Sir, how to solve eye problems of pug? Parveen Gopal from Bhavanlal Kennels. Okay. How to solve eye problem?
What sort of eye problem? I would say is in some breeding, they are bulging eyes.
Okay.
So you have to be cautious when you buy a puppy. They
Right.
should be globular,
Right.
round eyes, but not bulging. Never bulging eyes.
So you don't want them like like
Coming
a
out.
goldfish coming out.
No.
Okay. They should be large, globular, but not outside, not protruding.
True.
Okay. And if at all there is, in my understanding, Praveen, if you have to look after the eyes of a pug, first and foremost, keep the surroundings where your pug is playing and roaming about clean. Corners, plants, thorny bushes, all these areas you have to be extremely
Use eye
careful.
drops and all.
And then you use your constant wet wipes and eye drops to keep it clean. Okay, very interesting. How to remove the smell from pugs? I give daily bath. Daily bath?
That's the problem.
No,
It
you're
itself is
removing all the oils from the skin. Please, Divya Arora, do not give a daily bath. The pug does not smell foul You are causing it. You're causing a skin problem because you're giving too much of a bath. The soap and the shampoo is taking away all the oils from the skin, and I would suggest you get a skin test done with your vet. But please do not give your dog a bath every day.
I'll tell you a story about this.
Please tell me.
Once I had given a pug puppy to confusion.
Okay.
Ritik's mother.
Mr. Ritik Roshan's mother.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she calls me after 1.5 years.
Okay.
I'm having problem with my pug, and he's got mange and the skin problem. I spent a lot of money, 50,000-60,000 rupees. I just asked her how often you bathe your dog. And she says, daily, like we take bath. I said, stop bathing the dog, and I gave her some tips.
Right.
And the dog was all right within 15 days time.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, no daily bath. And this is no attribution to Miss Roshan, please. It is just a reference. Okay. Which shampoo do you recommend?
With shampoo.
Any good brand shampoo which looks after short coat and it leaves the coat, smooth and silky. That's fine with us.
You get a lot of medicated shampoos.
Yeah, so we don't recommend any specific shampoo. Okay, and daily grooming, we have covered the pin brush, we have covered the face cleaning, ears cleaning, eyes cleaning. Any specific problem with anal glands in pugs come?
Yes.
Okay.
Within a month's time, you should clean the anal glands, and especially the people who give them wet diet, soft diet.
Right.
Those pugs, they have problems.
Okay.
On the sides, there are glands, the anus, so they have to be squeezed in.
Right.
So you can ask your vet to do that and learn from him.
Okay.
And they have to be squeezed.
Okay. I am going to ask you two questions which many pet owners and I myself have experienced. And this is true for boxers, for bulldogs, and also for pugs. Do they snore?
They do snore.
Is that because of the structure of their...
Of course.
So any brachycephalic breeds, ladies and gentlemen, please don't be alarmed if they snore a little. And actually a snoring is a sign of good, restful, deep slumber. So if your pet is having a good night's sleep, let him snore. Question 2, come on. Do they pass flatulence? Do they pass gas?
They do. They do.
Any reason or any way that this can be avoided? Because we have got small houses, we've got air-conditioned rooms, and you've got a pug that is...
It's not so often.
Okay.
Sometimes.
And do you think it's diet related, or is it just that their digestive system is such that they pass flatulence?
Because of their digestive system.
Because of their digestive system. So we learn to live with it, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing much we can do about their passing. Okay.
And when they pass it, they're surprised.
Themselves?
Yeah, they surprise themselves.
Okay, the pugs are themselves surprised if they pass flatulence because they don't know where it's coming from and then they don't know how to react. So that's the comical part of the whole story. Okay. TLS shampoo, please let you go, pug. Rosalind Farwell wants us to let our pug go. No. He is fine, he's fallen asleep. Let me bring the camera down on here. He's fast asleep. So he's not going anywhere, Rosalind. He's enjoying himself now. He's had his fun and he's sleeping. Okay, tell me something about exercise, Kamal. What kind of exercise do you recommend and how do you relate a bit of training, a bit of discipline with exercise?
Right from puppyhood.
Okay.
One should start the training part.
Okay. What kind of training?
You're talking about exercise or training?
No, let's talk training first. You started it, it's a good topic.
Say by the age of 12 weeks, I think the training starts when the puppy is weaned from the mother.
Okay.
From there on, the small steps they start.
Okay.
The training session should be very short, 3 to 5 minutes, because their concentration span is very less of any breed.
but what kind of training can you expect a pug to get, or how does a pug learn? I mean, we don't want an obedience dog. We want a companion dog.
Mhm.
So, what are the basic things that you believe a pug can easily learn?
You can easily learn like, okay, come,
Okay,
sit,
okay.
these are the commands.
So, basic obedience.
Basic.
But I have seen pugs, Kamal, that are competing in agility.
You have to go in for obedience training.
Right.
They are very smart dogs.
Okay.
They can be trained for that, but you have to be professional for that.
Right. But you believe that temperamentally they have the capacity to undergo training, because I have seen even at big shows in the world, a pug is competing in obedience. A pug is competing in a dance routine. A pug is competing in agility.
They are very intelligent breed,
Okay.
and they can be trained to perform.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's something new that we came to know, because we normally associate a pug with just a loving, friendly companion dog. But here, Kamal feels that they have the capacity to be trained professionally and become professional obedience or professional agility dogs, which is very interesting.
I'll tell you of an instance.
Yes.
In a dog show, I was there sitting,
Yeah.
and I was without my dog, and I was sitting nearby a pug crate,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a little humid and heat.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed this pug.
Mm-hmm.
There was a water ball
Mm-hmm.
inside the cage.
Mm-hmm.
This fella, he puts his front paw
Mm-hmm.
into the water, then gets it back. Then the second,
Wow.
he turns around, the rear hind leg into the water ball. Then the next leg,
So smart.
and he pulled himself off.
Smart cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. That's see, you've got a dog that knows exactly how to pull itself off. It turns around and puts his paws in the water bowl. And yeah, it's nice.
They are
Siddharth.
trainable. They are trainable.
Good. That's very nice to know. Dinkar wants to know, Kamal, is it true that once an anal gland is expressed by us, it has to be done regularly by us? Is it better to add fiber to the diet, which may help?
That's a doctor's question.
Okay, that's Kamal would not like to comment. Dinkar, Vet would know, but I personally, because of all the dogs we've had, I don't think that it's something which becomes a habit that you've expressed it once, so you must express it regularly. It's something that your dog would. The symptoms are clear. It will sit on its back and start
It'll scratch the
scratching,
back.
and it will. Sometimes if the anal glands are full, they even stop eating. I have known of cases of temperature if the anal glands are full. So yes, you would need to express it in any case. It's not that you don't express it once, so you don't have to express it ever.
That's with every breed.
It's with every breed. So I think it's always better, in my personal experience, that these are expressed and not left, for the dog to suffer, because I don't find it very healthy for the dog. It's always a problem. Okay, Kamal, I want to. I have a few stories because we are closing in. I would like to share. When you go for a pug, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you are going for a dog that represents all the features of the breed. So you don't want a pug that is too big, a pug that is too coarse, a pug that has either hair is too much or there is very little, or a pug that is listless or it's dry and it's not happy. So you need to have a true representative of the breed and keep these temperament traits and these characteristics in mind before you choose a dog. Remember, when you're going in for a pug, I'm repeating, you're going in for a lot of dog in a small space. So you will have energy, you will have fearlessness, you will have happiness, you will have expression, you will have someone who's wanting to play with you. It's an active little dog that you're bringing into your home.
And it's a long-lived dog.
Touch wood. God bless. It's a long-lived dog, and so the average age. That's a good point.
So,
we missed it earlier.
If you get a pug, you have to be ready for the next at least 15 years.
Wonderful. God bless. So 15 years of good, healthy life in a family So before you commit yourself to a pug, ladies and gentlemen, keep these things in mind. I don't think we have too many other questions which we've missed or no, I think we've done. The shampoos we don't want to recommend. And the exercise routine is normal, short walk. Don't make it run too much in the summers. In the winters, they are fine. They can run in the park, they can play around. And I have had pugs who are happy with frisbees and happy with balls and happy in the winters. But in the summers, ladies and gentlemen, keep your dog cool, keep it inside, keep your pug clean, and I think generally that's it. And I hope that our talk today with the breed expert and has been fruitful. I would take this last 2 or 3 minutes that we have to sort of name a few friends who are very close or who have had a lot of active contribution to make in the pug breed. And I hope that they have listened in today and they continue to support the breed and get in some new pugs, ladies and gentlemen, and keep the breed alive. So it's time for us to sign off. And thank you, Kamal, again for bringing your dog along and joining us at Dog Spot.
That's a friend's dog. That's Ajit's dog.
Oh, it's Ajit's dog. Okay. So thank you, Ajit, for sending your little dog along. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining in. Another thank you for Dog Spot and for people in the back-end team, particularly Lara and Saloni, for getting this together.
I would like to, Shharat, I would like to thank some of the people.
Sure, please do. Please do. Sorry.
See, for the pug breed, lot of, I want to thank few people, Mr. S.P. Malik,
Okay.
and our friend, dear friend, Mahendra Sharma,
Oh, yes, definitely.
and one Mr. Jansa was there.
Yes.
And amongst the new crop is some of the good work done by Mandeep Singh,
Okay.
Baljit Bhullar.
Okay.
They are doing good work,
Right.
and upcoming one by the name of Bablu Bhatti.
Right.
He shows very well. He's breathing good. Baljit, Bablu, and Mandeep.
So
They
people,
have done
ladies and
wonders.
gentlemen, if you get dogs from these bloodlines, I think Kamal feels that they would be of nice stock. And let me take this opportunity once again to thank all of you for being here today. It's been wonderful talking about this lovely Oriental ancient breed, and we hope to come back to you with another breed very soon. Thank you, bye bye,
Thank you.
and we are signing off.